We are having a good time here this morning. It was a wackadoodle evening. Happy Saturday, or whenever you are hearing this or watching this, whatever it is that you're doing. Um, Not sure what is going on with this. Okay, I think it's just too narrow. There we go. Alrighty. So thanks for turning up and tuning in. And yeah, it was a crazy night. It was the eclipse, March 14th, 2025. I usually, when I do something later in the evening, it's really hard to kind of wind down. Doesn't matter how intense it is or not. There's just seems to be a lot of stuff that's like input. One of the things I'm trying to do is make sure there's more grounding presence, and I really made an effort. I took 2 days off before I did Rob on Typical Skeptics show last night, and so those 2 days I think paid off, and I ended up doing another video of my own and posting it on Rumble and YouTube. So it was pretty amazing what I came out. You'll have to check it out. It was the Lady Guardian turned up, and I got a picture. Well, I got the picture because I realized that she was there. So anyway, never had anything like that happen before. One of the things that I really feel like is a repeater type inspiration or motivation or whatever you want to label it is this whole thing with discernment. And I don't think it matters what it is, what subject it is. We're going to have to take a deep breath whether we resonate with something or not. I think that whole idea of resonance, if it makes you feel good, is not necessarily a good thing, because overindulging in alcohol in that moment can make you feel good. Probably not a long-term good idea to keep pursuing that. Same thing with any kind of food, or even relationships that might make you feel good, and then you step away from it and you're going, what just happened? What just happened? So one of the things I think that is important right now is for us to have that discernment, and once we realize that there's a problem, whether it's seen or unseen. And it was interesting that last night Rob was struggling with something that's reoccurring with him. You know, he shared that he has an entity attachment that kind of, when he has others help him remove it, that he struggles to. All right, I'm going to have to close that other window. Yeah. Okay, so oddly enough, that's okay. That was Rob responding. I asked permission for something. Let me shoot him a. I'll send you a picture of the book I mentioned last night because it might help you with the entity thingy. All right, so the book I'm going to send a picture of is this one. I've had it for a while, and it's some pretty amazing stories in there. Anytime I make a recommendation, I'm not getting paid anything for this. This is my own gig. I do everything. So anyway, yeah, this is a really nice book, and she's a licensed psychologist. I think it was printed in the 1980s, late 1980s, and the about the author thing in the back says she's practices psychology in if I could spit it out, Saratoga, California. Anyway, good book. I really like it. I'll probably read it again now that this is like really coming up. The other thing about discernment is knowing what those attachments are, those things in our head. It's not just the feelings. It's the feelings that all of a sudden we have an awareness in our mind. And sometimes things can come across as self-talk, and we think it's us. So So it was funny. I started thinking about V2K technology, and what came up were some pretty interesting theories on what that is. And one of the things that I saw that I found was really interesting is, of course, they changed the terminology. And the terminology here, what do they call it? Psychological warfare. All right. Okay, this is what they're calling this is remote neural monitoring. So, right. So just like with a lot of things, they try to make it sound a little less cognitively. You have to kind of some people, but that makes total sense to me. It involves monitoring the brain activity. This is what is this from? I don't even know what this is from. It looks like it's come from several things, several websites. But anyway, AI answer, of course. But it monitors brain activity from a distance. Concept raised important legal and ethical questions, privacy rights, criminal laws around stalking and harassment. All right, so that basically turns us all into persons of interest or being stalked. What's really interesting too is last night, before I even started thinking about this, there was a thing that came up on Facebook Reel. Can't tell me they aren't like really super monitoring. Is this guy talking exactly about that? But he did call it V2K. Okay, so he was talking about it, and what it is not just neural monitoring. There's the ability to create frequencies to put ideas, thoughts, dialogues in our own heads and making it think it's us or God. It's going to depend on the frequency. And if you're out of sync with what that frequency is, you're not going to pick that up. Just kind of saying. You know what I mean? So we have to be able to adjust our own frequency. And I think that Guardian turned up last night because this is about protection, putting that full armor on. And it's not just within ourselves. We have to pull in the frequencies that surround us, the energies that surround us, that are with us, that are for us. Without struggle, without strife, this is something that we have to have a good foundation and grounding. And again, bare feet on a hardwood floor. I mean, this is kind of what I'm kind of talking about. But anyway, so with all of that being said, I am going to close that out so it won't make any noise. And I did pull the cards already. If you want to see how they're shuffled out, you're going to have to check out the beginning of the Rumble post once I get that up. And I'm going to close the video and probably shut down the mic for a hot second because it's no fun listening to the chair roll. Dog's not in here, so she's not going to be like scrambling to get out of my way. So give me a sec and we'll make it happen. So here we are. I know the sound is going to be a little bit different because I'm closer to a wall. There's a wall over there, so sorry if that kind of messes with your head, but that's what it is. All right, so these are the cards I pulled earlier. So having cleared the board already, let's get into it and see what the universe wants to let us in on. Okay, so yeah, there's going to be a lot of revelation. It's not going to be comfortable. It's going to be a total transformation. One of the ways that we're going to be able to get through what's going on is maybe asking for help. Nope, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so this reminds me of the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, that C.S. Lewis book. It was one of the books in the Narnia series, where Eustace was turned into a dragon, and all his compatriots were after him, thinking he was bad. And he had to turn to Aslan, which is the positive energy reference. Of course, they were referencing Christ, and needing help with shedding the scales. So that's what is reminded of here. We're going to have to ask for help to maintain our getting through this, and that protection, helping us shed, is kind of part of that. It's helping us manifest that newness in our life, even if it's just kind of like an idea or a perspective. I don't know. She's kind of like giving me the same sort of a vibe here. You know, coming in from above. She's got those scrolls with her, and the scrolls are revelations that she's got within herself. She holds the key. We aren't separate from her, just like that entity, the goddess that I saw last night, for lack of a better way of what to call the guardian. I will call her a guardian, lady guardian. She was there as a protector and to make me aware that she is close by. And I think this is the same sort of thing. And that if we tune in, it's almost like that's my higher self, an expression. So maybe that's what we're looking for, right? I mean, not everybody's in this place. When you're ready, you'll see this coming. It's going to get really uncomfortable. And don't think you're standing alone or that you are alone. Whether it's with humans or your spiritual help. Yeah, and this is a card of transformation, Page of Swords. So again, I don't read traditional, but this Page of Swords is, look at the wings aren't fully expanded yet, right? The wings aren't fully expanded. It's a newness. Definitely a newness. A new beginning. And into it. You're already into it at this point. I should say. We're on our way to embody the king and the kingdom, our realm. And we shouldn't be fearful of it. And it's the King of Wands. He's well established. He does have a fiery attitude, but this is also taking action. And I think all of the kings are seated. So that's like, I've done it. I'm here. I'm ready. Now it's time to do something. Not that we're idle. Oh my. So we have the divine masculine, but we've also got the divine feminine. So this is like, don't overdo it. Make sure that there's a balance between these, because that's a lot of very intense fire. There's self-confidence here as well. But, we're beyond this. Once we reach this stage, we'll have that maturity. Yeah. And I know this says judgment without being judgmental. So that's two different things. But using good judgment, this is something that will be and should be and is employed. We're not going to forget. So there's like reminiscence. So let's not get caught up in that. I don't think we are, because she is looking at her and she is looking in the water. She's looking at her reflection. So she's reminiscing, and this is letting go of the past. So all the orbs around her, I believe, are representations of her emotional past. And that's something that we don't want to ignore. We want to be able to have that discernment and judge what serves us and what does not. This is not a quick process. Oh my gosh, this one came up last night too. Is patience. And one of the things that I don't know if it can be seen or not, but there's a clock right there. And that would be on the left side of her body. And if we feel like we're running out of time, we're not. It's that self-perceived, I need to get this done. We need to have more grace and patience with ourselves. It's already hard enough doing it with others, but doing it with others is going to be easier if we do it with ourselves. This came up, but it was on a different deck. So it's almost like I meant what I said. Last night has carried over into today. So 5 of earth is equivalent to 5 of coins, which is equivalent to the 5 of pentacles. And there's some lamentation thinking that we are alone, and we are not. And one of the things, yeah. Wow, she's a tree. Sorry, I'm kind of engrossed in that. That's just like the most amazing image. And it's almost like we have this bounty around us and we're not taking advantage of it, maybe. Because there's life, but there's also some, it's not really budding. I don't know if you've ever seen a tree where it has some of the branches are flourishing and some are not. And it's important for us to, weed the things out that aren't going to help us make it through. Because there's some stuff we got coming. We got a lot more fire. I don't know that I've ever seen this, but there are 2 pages here, right? So, Page of Swords. Page of Wands. She's pretty well lit. You know what I mean. Lit, and not quite lit from within. So we need to drink in that fire to be able to use it in a mature way. And because it's easy to, when life starts broiling around us, it's easy for us to lose sight of that. Oh my gosh. Same lady. There's going to be a lot of activity. And I think that this is going to be really important. The using judgment, because I think that takes a great deal of maturity. And I think we have that here with both of the Queens of Wands here. So she's almost like putting her up in the forefront would not even probably do her justice. Because this is all fire, all of it. So there's going to be a lot of activity. Then that's going to probably bring up a lot of emotion, because this is the 4 of Cups, 4 of water. And we're being handed the opportunity to make life work for us with where we're at. But again, it's going to have to come with that maturity and knowing when to act and how, and not remaining too much in the past. It's valuable, it's part of us, um, and not lamenting. See, she's handing us one, but we've got three that we're not satisfied with. It's all a learning process. Use the judgment on your past. Don't remember it. Don't lament over it. And realize the blessing that's being handed to us. This is going to lead to fertility. The frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and greater expression of ourselves. So this whole thing is all about making this transformation. And just drink that frequency in, because that's like an activation. I just heard the word portal. And that's going to mean something different to a lot of people. And if you're not ready for that, that's okay. Just say so. Because we have the ability to say yes or no to whatever it is that's being presented to us. So this is a fertile time. Use these instances. Isn't there like a 5? Yeah, she's all the way over here. So she's actually part of this. She's part of all of this. And a frequent, this is all of this. Oh my gosh. And it's like taking it right to the next. So I'll hold this up again so you can maybe look at it. But this is the frequency of healing that supports our intrinsic ability to restore our health and wholeness by consciously using the information that comes to us through our senses and harmonizing everything accordingly. Yepper. And you know what? A Pythagorean math here, it's card number 29, 2, and 9 is 11. This is an awesome card. This is what we are here to do. Help each other. Help each other heal. Help each other heal. And I love this. It's going to take strength. And one of the numbers that I've been seeing a lot over the last month is a lot of 4s, a lot of double 4s. And this is card 44. So she is strength. I mean, if you look at this, she's balancing the world behind her, reaching forward, and she's trying to like cantilever herself, like making the balance with her backside and staying upright. And she has one foot up, you know, and she's trying to reach the leaves that are blowing toward her. Her arm, where it touches that globe, is a branch, or maybe even the root of that tree on the top. So that's kind of what we're doing. It's going to feel really awkward, and I think that this whole healing process is going to take some strength, and this is why it's important for us to not do this alone. Yeah, and discernment is going to come right back into it, because all that glitters is not gold. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. So right back to the discernment, right? We have these fertile minds. Yeah, and it is. It's going to be very awkward. We're going to feel like we don't fit in anywhere, and we're going to feel like we're between worlds. Just like this is half shedded. So we're like half shedded right here. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a process. It's awkward. It's really awkward. So I'm actually, because this belongs down here, I'm gonna put this right here, so we can kind of see that. I know you can't see the whole thing, but um, there we go. It was a lot here, guys. So we had some sword energy, a whole lot of fire, and here comes another sword. And this is about money conflicts, cutting corners for a breakthrough. So cutting corners, we might get a breakthrough early, but it's going to cause that money conflict. So be careful with what you're, racing toward. Because if you have a career in, well, I don't know if it's a career or not. I'm seeing that there's going to be some pressure for law and order, with a potential for a pay cut and being defensive. And if you continue to escalate it, there's a potential for getting fired. And sometimes we end up firing ourselves. So I would have to say that when we're doing all of these things, to remember that this is not what we want. And we need to make sure that that's communicated. I'm going to move these guys out of the way a little bit. I'm telling you, I mean, a lot of stuff came out, man. So this said a breakthrough. And that's why I'm saying a lot of negative words in here, but we're going to achieve a breakthrough from the strength. Strength on the traditional is a lion, so don't let your limitations stop your success. You have the strength to break through. This is this. Let's see if I can hold it up. In the traditional, it's a lion for strength. So I think that that's what this is. This is saying this. And it's maybe not a breakthrough of money. It could be a breakthrough for the healing. So we want to make sure, again, that we have good judgment, a balanced judgment, not being overly emotional on making our decisions. And it says joint finances and being supported, but it also says emotional spending. Probably not a good time to do that. So if you need help, seek one out from a counselor or a guide, and you'll walk into, oh my gosh, you'll step into that dream job. We're going to step into that dream career. All right. Oh my goodness. So again, it's a transformation. And it's not going to be comfortable. That's a reminder again. So another repeat card. Different deck. Meant what I said. Transformation, not comfortable. Ask for help. Because it's going to get muddy. And this is where our judgment, our balance from the heart-centered decisions. Because there are going to be a lot of very judgmental people who are going to offer their opinions whether you want it or not. So make sure you have that balance going. Last card. Some things will continue to be a mystery. Something about a moth moon. Oh, okay, that was just brought to my attention. So all of these figurines are representations in stone of I don't know if they're holy women. They're all in robes. But one of the things I notice about the lady in the back, check her out. She has lightning coming out of her throat. So some of us need to work on speaking evenly, even when someone's giving us an opinion that we don't necessarily align with, and speak from our heart center. And that way it will manifest into from our throat, opening that up, and we'll be able to speak it without being too harsh. No clarifications needed. I mean, there's a lot of repeat stuff here. I'm going to scooch back over. You're going to probably hear the chair roll. Let's get that camera over. Here we go. Well, hey, it is a Saturday afternoon, and I am super excited for what's coming. We look like we all have some work to do. If you do need help with that, please do like, share, and subscribe. I do have prices on my website. I am going to try and come up with a spring sale, I guess. So just keep that in mind. So send me an email. I will have all the links in the description box below. All of your emails, visiting the website, checking out the Rumble, and I do have a lot of other social media accounts that I'm not posting on just yet. And hopefully that will change this year, and we'll be able to see more good things and be able to support each other in a more direct manner. I would like to start a group that we can get together, and I'm looking for people to let me know when is best for them, and I'm going to just kind of take a collective view of what that is and use my intuition. Might end up being fairly brief, maybe like an hour long, and then we'll, maybe like on a Tuesday evening or something, fairly early, because I'm in United States Eastern Standard Time. So anyway, I hope everybody has a fantastic, amazing rest of the week.